What's up, everybody on the internet? Ninja Nick 333. I hope you guys liked last round where Isaiah Bradner blatantly cheated on stream for the billionth time. We are now in a round where we don't have anybody that's names I recognize, so hopefully there's no more cheaters on the stream today. We've got Brennan on the left, Hetty on the right. Looks like it's going to be another Lost Box Mirror. Big exciting times here, folks. We just watched one. We get to watch one yet again. So we are going to use Comfey and Lost Zone the Mirage Gate. And we do get a Battle VIP Pass. We are going to be able to use that to get 2 Pokemon out. Probably Comfey and Greninja. I do see that those have already been eyed up to the top here. So that is most likely what we are going to get. Also, those are some pretty big shadows we got here. I mean, I guess it doesn't really obscure anything, but taking me out of it slightly. So yeah, probably just prize checking a little bit. Looks like this is a Goodra deck on the left. So actually, if this is straight Lost Box on the right, Goodra will be favored. Yeah, Goodra is favored into regular Lost Box. The Goodra, for those who don't know, Goodra V-Star does take 80 less damage when it does its attack. So, you do 200, and then on your next turn, if your opponent hits you, you take 80 less damage. So, pretty powerful attack, if I do say so myself. I think Goodra is one of the new, well, not new, but one of the better decks in this current format. It has a lot of merit to playing it. It has a bit weird of a Gardevoir matchup. It's like sort of favored and sort of not. I don't really know how to explain it. The, actually, yes I do. The Zacian can knock you out with a 10 energy attack, but they usually only play 11 energy, so if he just bosses orders after that, your opponent loses because they don't have enough energy to put on one of their 2 retreat Pokemon. So they have to play something like Penny, like Tord was playing in round 1. We do see the couple flower selectings here, getting 2 cards into the Lost Zone, and then the Beach Court to allow a free retreat into the Greninja. Knowing that the opponent might have a Cramorant, might have the ability to get there, but nope. Oh, it looks like Brennan was on the right and Hetty is on the left, so it looks like they had those mixed up and fixed that. But it was just a Snorlax bench and then an attach and pass. So not a good start for Brendan here. Hetty off to the races, though, is going to get that Chorus's Experiment. Going to grab 3 cards from the top 5 and put the other 2 in the Lost Zone. Would like to see a Goodra come down this turn. We do see a switch. If you're seeing a Lost Box deck play regular switch instead of switch card, that's a telltale sign that they are playing Goodra. Because the Goodra does evolve, and the switch cart only works for basic Pokemon. So that is a really good way to tell which version of Lost Box your opponent's playing without them actually revealing the Goodra. So keep that in mind. I mean, I guess regular Lost Box decks could be playing Switch, but that would be like their 5th Switch cart, if you know what I mean. We are going to see the Ultra Ball is going to get rid of a Drapion and another Beach Court. You don't really need that second Beach Court. Your opponent is probably playing Beach Court as the stadium as well, unless they're playing the Pokestop like Moffitt was in the previous round. They're going to Ultra Ball for the Cramorant. We're going to try to take that quick KO on this Sableye and just try to race the opponent out. Lost Box generally wins by just outracing the opponent like that. And yeah, the opponent just making sure here that there wasn't a double retreat. It was a switch earlier. So uses that Beach Court 2 free retreat. Brennan is just going to attach another energy, bench a Cramorant just so that they don't get benched out. Switch cart to protect the Snorlax and pass. So that Snorlax will be powered up by that last Psychic energy that's in hand. But as long as there isn't a double heads for the Thumping Snore, we will not wake up and be able to take another knockout after that. This Snorlax is actually very good in the Lost Box Mirror. It has an ability that makes it so that Sableye cannot damage it. It says it's immune to effects of attacks, and the damage counters from Sableye is an effect of an attack. I don't really like that on stream they always spread out the Lost Zone like that. I think it's perfectly fine to just have it in one pile. Your discard is already in one pile like that. So if you're going to put the dice on top of the Lost Zone to keep track of how many is in there, I don't think you need to have it completely spread out like that. If you're going to have it completely spread out like that, might as well just do that for the discard pile as well. Just have all your information out there. Save both players a little bit of effort. But doing one and not the other is just kind of weird to me, in my opinion. Unless you're not using the dice, in which case then it makes sense, because then you can more easily count the cards in your Lost Zone. But we do see we're already at 7. We are able to bench the Goodra and immediately Mirage Gate to it. We could even see the... What is the attack? Rolling Shell on the Hisuian Goodra for 140. We could actually see that potentially this turn. That would be really funny. If we see an attached return, the free retreat of the Cramorant, you could Rolling Shell, take 30 less on this next turn, and then evolve into the Goodra V-Star and just win the game. But I think it's just better to, yeah, just leave the Cramorant up. Snorlax does fall asleep. You do have to flip 2 coins. One of them is heads, and then Hetty shows that he has the Goodra V-Star, or she, I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know what kind of name. Hetty is not a name that I am familiar with. It is a French name because they are from France. That is one of the cool things about these international championships, is that there's a lot of different nationalities that you'll see, more so than at a regional. I mean, Tord goes to a lot of our regionals, so does Pablo. But, yeah, now that we zoomed out, I can tell. But, yeah, at a lot of these tournaments, you see a lot of people from all different sorts of nationalities, from all different countries at these international championships. They're really designed so that people can travel to them and, you know, play in them. They used to have national championships instead. I do wish that we would go back to the cities, states, and nationals that we used to have when I first started playing. I did think that they were a little more fun. Playing in cities was exactly like playing in League Cups. It's just, it was 3 months out of the year. So you would just go every Saturday and Sunday to a local game store, play in a cities for 3 months, and then you were done for the season. You knew whether or not you had a shot of getting your invite within those 3 months. So you could just play really hard those 3 months and then just like play in local, just regular locals the rest of the year. League Cups are officially back now, so if you guys want to try to grind your invite at this point, ooh, double Goodra V-Star in the prizes is not good. They're likely playing a third though, so you'll just have to try to find that. They better be playing Ultra Ball. I know that the list that won the last Silver Tempest Regional was playing a couple copies of Ultra Ball, and I'm honestly surprised that these decks were not playing that to begin with. Looks like this is the Kyogre Lost Box version. Immediately Lost Zoning a Battle VIP Pass is a little weird, but it was either that or the Greninja, so makes sense. The Greninja is a lot more valuable than getting 2 more Pokemon on your bench, but it would have been really nice to see that Battle VIP Pass. We do Greninja and draw into double Lost Vacuum. This is very rough draws here for Brennan, especially after game 1 there. Just drawing literally nothing, just having to hard attach to a Snorlax 3 times in a row. And yeah, just visibly showing to your opponent that you are bricking like a rock. Bricking like a rock? Is that even a term? No, I'm just making stuff up. Yeah, and it's just going to be a pass from there, I would assume. Your hand's dead. I think it's like a couple Mirage Gates, Kyogre, a Dragonite V. Yeah, Hetty even has a Chorus's Experiment for good measure. So we're going to see at least 3 cards in the Lost Zone this turn. Most likely more than that. There is a Comfey in there. Looks like we are deciding to Lost Zone that Comfey, so maybe there's another one in hand or another way to get one. So that would be fine to Lost Zone one here. As long as we can get one word. We might actually see the Cramorant attack again turn 1 would be amazing. We do see Battle VIP Pass here as well. We're going to be able to grab 2 Pokemon straight from our deck. So we will be able to get another Comfey and a Cramorant, or a Radiant Greninja and the Cramorant. Normally I would like to see the next Comfey, but I think in this situation, grabbing that Cramorant is pretty good because you know you're going to be taking the first prize in what is essentially a mirror match, but also a favored mirror match. As long as you can keep that pressure on. The second you get to the Goodra, you are really off to the races. You are really rolling that iron, you know? So, checking the prize cards as well here. Probably going to know that you did prize 2 Goodra V-Star. That's probably the most important thing to check when you are Goodra, is how many Goos and how many Super Goos you have in your deck. Goos and Goo Stars? I don't know. I don't know the correct terminology for Goodra. Concealed card's gonna get another Battle VIP pass. Ooh, never punished. Even has another Comfey in hand as well, along with the switch and double escape rope. Yeah, Hetty just has everything that they need. Absolutely amazing. So I'd like to see maybe one more Comfey and the Goodra would make sense here. That way you are able to evolve the Goodra next turn. Potentially even get to the Mirage Gate on next turn as well, since you're doing so hot this turn. So we are going to see the flower selecting. That's going to put the third card in the Lost Zone here. It's either going to be Metal Energy or is that Rocks? Oh no, that's Boss. I think I would be fine putting the Boss in there, because you know your Goodra is always going to be taking a knockout on whatever your opponent puts up. But looks like prioritizes the Boss. I'm not going to say that that's the wrong decision. You play plenty of Metal Energies, so you don't necessarily need that one copy. Also gets rid of a Water Energy off of this next flower selecting that they switched into. Now, as long as you play that Escape Rope, you will be able to attack with Cramorant. The only thing is, if you do that, they're going to put up the Greninja, and you're not going to be able to take a knockout. So, you hard retreat with the Comfey, discarding that Water Energy in order to knock out their one and only Comfey in play. So much better there. We do see that the Battle VIP passes in this top 5 off of this Colress's Experiment, so you know that's going to be going to the Lost Zone immediately. It's not turn 1, so you can't play it. This Hawlucha is going away as well. So the start of new formats, whenever a rotation happens, a lot of good consistency cards do leave the format. So you're seeing a lot more bricks than normally happen at a regional or higher tournament like this that is streamed. And that is just because we lost so many consistency cards. We lost Scoop Up Net for Lost Box. We lost Quick Ball for every deck. You know, we lost some good supporters like Marnie as well. So there's just a lot less good options to play. We did get Nest Ball, which is fantastic, but we lost Crobat V. And we lost Quick Ball, so even if we still had Crobat V, that Nest Ball would just put it directly to the bench, and you wouldn't even get the added effect of it. So, yeah. So now you can't Quick Ball for Illuminion. You can Nest Ball for Illuminion, but that puts it directly to the bench. You can't get a supporter with that. We are going to see the Beach Court is coming out. We are going to be able to retreat into our own Cramorant. We're at 3 cards in the Lost Zone. We're also going to Lost Vacuum. That'll put us at 5. So we will be able to attack with our own Cramorant here, but as long as Hetty is able to get to 7, which should be just promoting Comfey and playing a Colress's Experiment, that should be just enough to be able to get there and be able to get this rolling iron going. We're also going to need to find that Goodra as well, so hopefully we are playing Ultra Ball. Is that what that last card is in hand, or is that just an Escape Rope? I can't tell. That is an Ultra Ball. Okay, so we do have the way to get the Goodra, as long as we're playing more than 2 copies. I would assume we are. Because there's always those times where you flower selecting and you see double Hisuian Goodra V-Star. So we are going to Nest Ball, getting... I mean, it doesn't really matter. You could go for a second Goodra if you really wanted to. I think that just going lone Goodra for now is perfectly fine. I think that I would either get another Comfey or just fail it. It looks like we are just going to go for the fail. I like that. You don't want the second Goodra too early, because if your opponent is playing Boss's Orders, then they could boss that up, hit it with a Cramorant, and then it like forces you to Moisture Star too early. And for those who don't know, Moisture Star is the V-Star power on the Hisuian Goodra V-Star. Allows you to fully heal the Pokemon. We do see the Colress's Experiment does dig into the Hisuian Goodra V-Star. So we are going to get rid of the Choice Belt because that's kind of useless in this matchup when you're not going against any V Pokemon. Along with the Battle VIP Pass that you can't play because it's not turn 1. And Hetty is drawing pretty beautifully here. All we need is a Mirage Gate and attach for turn. And then we will be able to Rolling Iron. It's perfectly fine leaving that Cramorant in play because it will only be able to do 30 to you anyway. We do see here is the Mirage Gate. We are gating it up. We are going to go... Ooh! We're going to go for an attack with Greninja right now. Ooh, ballsy. I kind of like it. There is no Manaphy in play from Brennan, so you can actually take a 2-prize turn here. Your Goodra is not really threatened by anything that Brennan even puts out, so you can go for a knockout on Comfey and the Sableye here. It has the water energy in hand. It is 2 water and 1 colorless to use Greninja's Moonlight Shuriken, doing 90 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's going to knock out that Sableye, going to knock out that Comfey, take 2 prize cards. Hetty is now down to 3 prize cards remaining. Brennan still quite literally has done nothing this game. Has taken a prize with a Cramorant, but has no setup whatsoever. You can see how much of a steamroll this deck goes on in the mirror like that. When you have access to the Goodra and your opponent doesn't, it's just a bad time. It's just a bad time for your opponent here. Brennan gonna do everything they can to try to pull this back, but at this point, the writing's on the wall. There's nothing you can really do, but you're gonna do your best to try to play out of it. Uses concealed cards, discards a water energy to draw 2. And again, what do you do here? I don't know, play Chorus's Experiment, get 2 more in the Lost Zone, and then Mirage Gate to Snorlax, maybe? And then knock out their Greninja? But then what do you do to the Hisuian Goodra V-Star? Like nothing. So we're just going to attack with a Cramorant here into the Radiant Greninja, which can just retreat right into the Goodra and just start rolling that iron. If we see another energy, another Mirage Gate, we could actually see this Greninja attack yet again this turn, but I don't think that that would be the best way to utilize the Greninja. Yeah, just play the Escape Rope, force one of your opponent's 2 consistency Pokemon into the active. So it's either going to be the Comfey or the Radiant Greninja. Looks like they're going to choose the Comfey. Mr. Rolling Iron does go up. Yeah, just shakes his head. He's like, yeah, I know I'm losing. Just really unfortunate. That's just the way that this matchup goes at this point. And the way this format really goes as well. You know, sometimes one of the players just actually draws what they need and the other player just doesn't. More likely to happen when you have less consistency cards. When you don't have access to things like those scoop ups to use the same Comfey over and over. And Brennan just scoops it up there. So as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Feeds that YouTube algorithm. Make sure these videos get shown to other people so that the channel keeps continuously growing, and it makes sure that I can still continue to put out content like this. And it's a nice cycle. It's a nice cycle. But we will see you guys next time for, what is it, round 4 now will be the next one. We will see you guys then.